IPS is on spring break this week. I'm Mary Mills. I'll tell you why the district hopes at least some of its students spend part of their break at school.
And it is the first week of spring, and we're going to see some temperature swings as well as some active wet weather. I'll have the details.
Not just a late night for Butler and Notre Dame, but an early morning in Pittsburgh. I'm Rich Nye with a game so good it needed overtime. Reaction from both teams coming up.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Sunrise starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to 9 o'clock, our hour of Weekend Sunrise. I'm Naomi Peskovitz here with Kelly Green. And if you stayed up late watching that game, maybe you're just now starting to roll out of bed. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning. It will be a cooler one than yesterday.
Yes, yesterday we got up to 63 degrees. It really was a fantastic first full day of spring. But yes, we're tracking slightly cooler temperatures today, but nonetheless, a dry day. And here is a quiet look from our HD sky cam. Taking a look at Lucas Oil right now. It's quiet today. Of course, in a couple weeks, it will be hopping. Lots of sunshine right now all across central Indiana, Crawfordsville. Blue sky, just some high cirrus clouds building in. And we have had this disturbance to our deep south that's been kicking in some of those clouds. But for the most part, it's going to be a quiet day today. We are tracking a disturbance that will move in from the northwest a little bit later on for tomorrow. In the meantime, it's currently 37 degrees at the Indianapolis airport. Winds are now turning out of the east at 8 miles per hour. We do have a wind chill value, making it feel like it's 31 degrees. Now, it is currently 31 in Strawn, 30 degrees in Muncie, 33 in Lafayette. It's 38 degrees in Bloomington and 37 in Seymour. Temperatures today will be a little bit cooler than yesterday and actually a few degrees below average this afternoon, climbing into the upper 40s and low 50s across central Indiana. A mix of sun and clouds today with light breezes out of the east-northeast from about 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high near 50 degrees. Big temperature swings and some wet weather will be coming your way. I'll have those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. New on Sunrise, a man was stabbed overnight on the near northeast side. It happened just after 3 o'clock this morning. Medics arrived on the scene in the 2900 block of 19th Street and started doing CPR on the victim. The man was taken to Eskenazi for treatment. His condition is not being released at this time. Police were able to apprehend a possible suspect at the scene. New on Sunrise, a family is forced from their home after an electrical fire. It happened in the 1500 block of West 22nd Street just after 2 this morning. We're told there were no working smoke detectors in the home. Luckily, the family was awoken by a burning smell and was able to escape from that home unharmed. Fire crews attacked the fire shortly after arriving on scene. They were able to put it out within about 20 minutes, but it did burn long enough to cause about $40,000 worth of damage. The family will stay with relatives for now. IPS is heading into their spring break, which means relaxation and fun for many students, but for others struggling with hunger, a break from school means finding another source of food. Sunrise reporter Mary Mills joins us live now from the Center for Inquiry on North New Jersey to tell us why those families in need won't have to worry this spring break. Mary?
Good morning, Naomi. Yes, IPS is opening 21 of its schools during spring break this year, including this one behind me during the lunch hour, to make sure that kids in need of a hot meal or wanting one are able to get one. Now, spring break starts Tuesday for IPS since Monday is a snow makeup day for the district. Lunch will be offered every day at each of those 21 schools from 11:30 to 12:30, with 2 of the schools actually offering breakfast as well. We're told about 80% of IPS's 30,000 students qualify for free meals based on their family's income. And school officials say for many of them it's the best meal of the day, and they want to make sure that kids still have access to that even on spring break. Now, kids don't have to do anything. They don't have to sign up. They just have to show up. IPS is not sure how many students and families will take advantage of the program, but the schools are scattered across the district to make that easier. And to see a full list of the schools and the times that the meals are being offered, you can go to WTHR.com and click on Hot Topics. And again, this all begins this Tuesday. We're live downtown. Mary Mills, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
And so good to get that information out before spring break starts. Thank you, Mary, so much. Well, a week after a violent attack at a city park, there was a show of force against violence yesterday. The 10-point coalition was among the groups at Brookside Park to show unity with a 14-year-old girl and her 5-year-old brother, who were beaten by another 14-year-old girl in an apparent unprovoked attack. Video of that beating went viral after it was uploaded and shared on social media. The 14-year-old suspect has been charged in juvenile court. The young victims are physically okay after that attack. We are learning more about a deadly shooting that happened in broad daylight yesterday. It turns out the man who died was related to the alleged shooter. Police were called to the 2900 block of East Riverside Drive on the city's northeast side. Officers were called out to investigate a reported burglary, but instead discovered a body inside the home. Homicide detectives say the man killed in the shooting was the brother of the homeowner and apparently has a history of convictions. Charges have not been filed in this case. Another shooting on the northeast side left a man in critical condition. The shots were fired outside of an apartment complex near 46th and Fall Creek Parkway. No word yet on a suspect in this case. Prosecutors are considering charges against 2 women accused in a multi-state crime spree. Police arrested Stephanie Tolles and Jaleisha McDonald this morning after a reported theft at a Greencastle Walmart. Investigators believe they're the same suspects wanted for up to 40 iPad thefts across Indiana and Ohio. Surveillance cameras caught the pair this week entering a Greenfield Walmart. Police say they broke into the store cabinets and stole thousands of dollars worth of electronics. Both women are being held in the Putnam County Jail. Prosecutors have filed formal charges against a man accused in another crime inside a Walmart. Tyler Armstrong faces 4 felonies and 1 misdemeanor for leaving a backpack meth lab at the store in Muncie. The potentially dangerous items were found in the men's bathroom last week. Police caught Armstrong a few days later and took him into custody. They also arrested Armstrong's alleged accomplice, Ashley Oliver, for helping him make the meth. Both of them will go to court next Thursday for their initial hearings. Well, it was Hoosier Hysteria meets March Madness last night in Pittsburgh. The final 2 teams in the NCAA tournament from Indiana faced off in an instant classic. Notre Dame and Butler went down to the wire and then some. Our Rich Nye is in Pittsburgh and gives us a recap of the action and tells us who's making arrangements for the Sweet 16 this morning.
Butler and Notre Dame played the latest game in the NCAA tournament Saturday, saving the best for last. So good, the game went to overtime and didn't end until Sunday. And the Irish certainly saved their best basketball for last. Roosevelt Jones scored a game-high 23 points for Butler despite playing on a sprained knee.
I didn't let it affect me. My trainers, they did an excellent job with treatment the last 2 days. I've been basically in the training room every single hour besides when I'm sleeping, so they did an excellent job, so I really didn't feel any pain during the game, and if I did feel it, I was going to fight through it.
Kellen Dunham's three-pointer tied the game with 3 minutes left. Neither team scored again in regulation. The Bulldogs missed 4 chances to win the game in the final 21 seconds, including Pat Connaughton's block on Dunham.
He made a phenomenal play. I didn't see him at all, and I don't think I could have done anything differently unless I heard him coming, you know. So he made an incredible play, and that's how it ended.
Butler senior Alex Barlow fouled out in his final game early in overtime.
It was extremely tough for me having to, sit over there and, watch my teammates. But, Grant made a great play, caught me in the air, and, I made a mistake. I didn't make many all game.
Notre Dame played almost perfect offense in overtime. Steve Vasturia beat the shot clock for 3, and the Fighting Irish beat the Bulldogs 67-64.
It's a great feeling. We're playing really well right now, and we made big plays down the stretch, and we've been doing that all year, getting big defensive stops and hitting shots. So it's a great feeling, and we're playing with a lot of confidence right now, so we want to keep it rolling.
The first ever NCAA tournament game between Butler and Notre Dame, certainly worth staying up for, and sends the Irish on to Cleveland as the only Indiana school in the Sweet 16. In Pittsburgh, I'm Rich Nye, Channel 13 Eyewitness Sports.
Rich, thanks. And no matter which team you were rooting for, certainly a lot for Indiana to be proud of this morning, having at least one team in the Sweet 16. We'll be following them.
Yeah, it's so hard to watch these men after they've been fighting so hard to win and then see the defeat and disappointment.
And they're so emotional, as they should be. A long road come to an end for a lot of those folks, but still, again, one team left.
Yes. And go Notre Dame. So we're going to see a nice day today, not as warm as yesterday. Temperatures will climb to near 50 degrees, but we are tracking some active weather. Several disturbances will bring rain chances to central Indiana. I'll have the timing coming up on Sunrise.
Plus, there were 5 teams from Indiana when the tournament started, but there were other teams with Hoosier connections. Coming up, how a pair of father-son duos did it in the 3rd round. And welcome back. Time now is 9:13. As we told you just a few minutes ago, Notre Dame is now the only Indiana school left in the NCAA tournament. But there are other teams with Indiana connections still in the field that we've been following very closely. Perhaps the tournament darlings, Georgia State, coached by former RUPUI coach Ron Hunter and led by his son and former Pike star RJ. The team captured the hearts of millions with their upset win over Baylor in the round of 64. Oh, their magical run, though, ended against Xavier yesterday. The father-son pair were emotional following their defeat.
As a coach, best time of my life, but as a father, I love this kid, man. Love him. There's nothing to be sad about, especially for me, I'll be honest with you. The greatest week of my life. The greatest time I've ever had to be a father.
Wow, certainly a rare moment there for them, of course. Well, it's not clear yet if RJ will return his senior year. He's projected to be a late first-round pick in the upcoming NBA draft, also making Indiana proud. But here's a positive. Another father-son duo is on their way to the Sweet 16. Former IU great Steve Alford and his son Bryce have the UCLA Bruins rolling right along after a big 92-74 win over number 14 UAB. The Bruins were a surprise selection into the tournament after winning only 2 games on the road all season long. But it really is true what they say. Once you're in the tournament, it's a whole new season. They will play the winner of today's game between Gonzaga and Iowa. Very cool to see some Hoosiers representing there.
That's right. I'm always a big Steve Alford fan.
Yes.
And grew up watching him play IU basketball.
And a lot of fans in this room, too, we know.
That's right.
All right, well, more basketball to come, but also spring-like weather. It's going to be that mixture of up and downs.
Well, I saw a lot of kids and dads playing basketball out in their driveways yesterday because it really was such a beautiful day. We're going to see much of the same, not quite as warm, but we will see a lot of sunshine. And as you can see from our satellite radar, we've had some clouds that moved in. To the deep south, there's an area of low pressure. It is bringing quite a bit of rain across the deep south, but what we're watching out for is this next disturbance to the northwest. That will be our next weather maker as we head into tomorrow. In the meantime, here's a look from Morris Reservoir. What a beautiful morning here. Lots of blue sky, a little bit of a breeze there and some ripples on the lake, but it is going to shape up to be a lovely spring day. It is currently 37 degrees at the Indianapolis airport. Winds are out of the east at 8 miles per hour. We do have a wind chill value making it feel like it's 31 degrees. It's currently 31 in Marion, 35 in Greensburg, 36 in Greencastle, 34 in Lafayette, and 40 degrees right now in Bedford. We are tracking a cooler day today, but it will be dry. We're going to see some big time temperature swings over the next several days, plus an active wet pattern will take shape, and we're also tracking some flurries that will move in by late week. Here's a look at future track 13. The winds will be out of the east-northeast today. That will allow temperatures to climb into the upper 40s and low 50s this afternoon. So quite a bit of a difference from yesterday's high of 63, but nonetheless still a nice, pleasant Sunday. Temperatures climb to 50 degrees in Indianapolis. Winds will be out of the east-northeast from about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperatures fall to 28 tomorrow morning under partly cloudy skies. So yes, a bit of a chilly start tomorrow morning. You'll need to grab the winter coat, and temperatures not going to rebound much at all tomorrow. Here's a look at future tracks starting the timeline at 7 a.m. We do have this disturbance that will start to push through. Snow will be likely in Chicago by tomorrow morning, so if you're heading up I-65 tomorrow morning, keep that in mind. Likely seeing some accumulating snow in northern Indiana. This will start to track across the area by early afternoon on Monday. A line from Lafayette, Kokomo to Marion, that area and points to the north could see a bit of some wet snowflakes. Not expecting any accumulation onto that, but nonetheless could be a bit slippery. Points to the south of that will likely be just rain, as temperatures will be warm enough for just rain throughout the rest of the afternoon into Monday evening. So Monday afternoon will be a chilly day. Temperatures only climb to 42 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, and again a chance of a few showers here and there. Keep in mind, check with Sean tonight and again with Chuck and Nicole tomorrow morning. As we head into Tuesday, better chances of rain. This is a warm front that will lift through. It'll bring us a chance of some showers, possibly a thunderstorm or two Tuesday afternoon into the evening. Then we'll see several dry hours during the day on Wednesday before more storms start to ramp back up again Wednesday night. Here's a look at your SkyTrack 13 forecast. We have high of 50 degrees on Sunday. Temperatures fall to 28 Monday morning. High of just 42 Monday afternoon. Better chances of rain Tuesday. Wednesday will be dry for a big chunk of the day, and check out that high, 61 degrees. More storms likely, though, by Wednesday night into Thursday. A few flurries possible on Friday. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. Prom is supposed to be a magical night for high school students, but all that glitz and glam comes at a big price. That's why dozens of girls were invited yesterday to pick out that perfect dress for free. Monon Trails Elementary in Westfield hosted the 9th annual Cinderella Story Prom Dress Sale. It's a chance for more students to enjoy the big dance without worrying about the expense.
One night you're going to spend maybe $300–400, and a lot of people can't afford that. So this gives everybody an opportunity to be on equal footing, go to prom and feel like $1 million, a princess for the night.
It's been a year since I've dressed up, to be honest, so I feel beautiful today.
So cool. All the dresses are donated by the community. Well, it's been said over and over again that good things come to those who wait. Coming up, only in Indiana, a place where people are being paid for a sweet reward for their patience. Plus, there are continuing concerns over recent underground explosions happening downtown. Coming up, why IPL workers found something inside of one of the manholes that blew up. Welcome back. We hope you stay with us after sunrise today for Inside Indiana Business. Here's host Gary Dick with more on today's show.
I'm Gary Dick. Coming up at 11 o'clock, high-speed internet access continues to be a huge issue in the state of Indiana for both businesses and Hoosiers in general. Two measures making their way through the Indiana State House are deal with broadband connectivity. They've been passed by the House, now in front of a Senate committee. AT&T Indiana President Bill Swords is confident those measures can help the situation. He also comments on the show about tech momentum in Indiana.
Something special is happening. We're proud to be playing a small part in that, but you see the co-working spaces expanding, hackathons, all sorts of engaging opportunities, not just for feel good, but to provide real economic incentives and opportunities for some of these young startups. It's really an exciting time to be part of the Indiana community.
Much more on high-speed internet access. Plus, spring is here, but is the housing market thawing out? We have an expert on the show this morning. He'll talk about what buyers and sellers can expect, also where mortgage rates may be headed in 2015. We'll have those stories and a lot more. It's all coming up this morning at 11 right here on Channel 13.
We only have a few weeks for harvest, and it takes hours to prepare. Most people would just give up and go buy it at the grocery store. But fortunately, not everyone feels that way. This morning on Only in Indiana, Kevin Rader and photographer Joel Clausen share a sap story that will prove that point.
A little bit closer, Rita. There you go. Air.
The window of opportunity is so small.
It takes about 40 to 50 gallons of water to make 1 gallon of syrup.
The temperature has to be above freezing during the day and below it at night.
The quicker you get it to go to syrup, the more clear your syrup will be.
But when Mother Nature cooperates, you get a sweet, rhythmic reward.
How's it taste?
Good. Good.
What's it taste like?
Sugar.
It's like sugar water or what?
It's like sugar water.
We go about 1 inch, maybe 1.25 inches, depending on how big of a tree it is. It has a little bit thicker bark.
Laura Lewis Rudd started tapping the 75 sugar maple trees in a grove on her parents' Brown County farm when she was little.
What is that coming up? Yeah. We're evaporating all the water off so it leaves just the sugary part behind.
This process can take anywhere from 6 to 8 hours.
So instead of, you always used to hearing, is it soup yet? It's like,
is it syrup yet? Yeah, and then I'll say to people, well, we're getting close, and they'll say, well, when's that going to be? And I'm like, 3 hours. And they're like, 3 hours? I was like, well, close with syrup is different.
And not to get sappy, but syrup brought Laura and her husband Chris together.
He actually made syrup at his house before I met him.
I borrowed her old pan and used...
We were acquaintances before, and then he had said, I wish I had a pan to cook it in, and I said, well, take our old pan.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So you guys were both sweet on syrup?
Yes.
So here they are in the Sugar Shack, sharing a love of the outdoors, a love of syrup, and a love for each other. You can literally see the steam rolling out of here.
It's kind of break up the cabin fever anyway of winter, and then I mean, we just love being out here, the birds and spring, and we love maple syrup. It's really good on pancakes. So
fresh maple syrup.
Oh, and there is that. After all, if you've tasted it coming out of the tree, you have to try it on the table.
Who else needs a pancake?
These two are armed with anticipation and, oh yeah, forks. After all, this is where all that patience pays off in a very big way. In Brown County, Kevin Rader, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Well, Laura and Chris say their syrup is not for sale. In fact, they only share it with people they love, and the lucky kids from Harmony School in Bloomington who were visiting there that day while they were shooting. If you have an Only in Indiana story you'd like to share with Kevin, just go to kevinrader@WTHR.com. That's his email address. You can send ideas there. Well, it's all everyone's talking about this morning. An amazing game between Notre Dame and Butler in the NCAA tournament. We'll tell you how each team is moving forward today.
Indiana's news leader. Eyewitness News at Sunrise continues.
A possible terrorist hack. Homeland Security is on the lookout for people who targeted an Indiana website. Plus, Butler and Notre Dame leave it all on the court for a chance at the Sweet 16. We'll recap the game and show you reaction from players and coaches. And a live look downtown this morning at Lucas Oil Stadium. That's the site, of course, of the Final Four, just a few weeks away. Today is a quiet day, but cooler than yesterday. It certainly is March. Welcome to Sunrise. It's 9:30. I'm Naomi Peskovitz here with Kelly Green to tell us about our week's forecast. Kelly?
Well, yes, it's definitely going to be cooler today, but it's still dry and pleasant to wrap up your weekend. And we are tracking kind of some wet weather in the next coming days. I'll get to that in just a moment. But right now, here's a look from Westfield from our WeatherBug Network. A nice, beautiful, clear start across central Indiana. Here's one from Greenfield. A few high clouds around, but nonetheless, a lot of sunshine. It is a bit chilly this morning, and we are tracking a couple of systems that will be moving our way. This one to the deep south is just bringing in some cloud coverage, but off to our northwest is the next weather disturbance that will push in on Monday. In the meantime, quiet today, temperature at 37 degrees, winds are out of the east at 8 miles per hour, and we do have a wind chill making it feel like it's 31 degrees. It's currently 34 in Cicero, 34 in Shelbyville, 35 in Greenwood. It's 34 in Lafayette, 35 in Crawfordsville, and 40 in Bedford. Now today we'll see temperatures climbing into the upper 40s and low 50s this afternoon, so running a few degrees below average, but we'll still enjoy a lot of sunshine today. Winds will be out of the east-northeast from about 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high of 50 degrees. Now we're tracking even cooler weather as well as some temperature swings and some wet weather coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. The website for a local nonprofit is back to normal this morning after a cyber attack with possible terrorist ties. This is the image here that hackers put up after taking control of the webpage and proclaiming their affiliation with ISIS. Indiana Artisan was targeted just 1 week before the organization's biggest event of the year at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. That event brings together artists and food vendors from across the state. The attention, though, now turns to finding out who's behind the hack and others that happened earlier this month, where the websites of several businesses here and across the country were also hacked by someone claiming to be ISIS. Investigators are still trying to figure out where the hacks are coming from and who's responsible.
You know, while it may not be them, it's still getting their message out that they want out.
Indianapolis Homeland Security says they have no knowledge of any specific threats directed at next weekend's event at the fairgrounds. But with any event, they're reminding people to be vigilant, telling folks if you see something, say something. Again, this hack is just the latest in a series of cyber attacks with alleged ties to ISIS. Earlier this month, hackers took control of the website for the Indianapolis Artists and Dealers Association. Their webpage and several others across the country displayed the message, "Hacked by Islamic State, we are everywhere." Just yesterday, a winery near Spokane, Washington fell victim to what appears to be the same group that targeted Indiana Artisan. That group, which calls itself Team System DZ, also took credit for defacing their website with ISIS propaganda. Well, an international hero was honored last night as a hometown hero. During last night's Pacers game at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, the team honored slain humanitarian worker Peter Abdulrahman Kasig with the Indiana Hero Award. His parents, Ed and Paula, were at the game to accept the award. Kasig founded an organization that worked to bring aid to the war-torn country of Syria. He was kidnapped by ISIS militants and killed last November. Fans at the game gave the Kasig family a prolonged standing ovation during the dedication. IMPD and the Indianapolis Department of Homeland Security are now part of an investigation into what caused several manhole covers to blow downtown last week. This after IPL workers found an unusual substance in one of the manholes. 4 manhole covers were blown into the air, and hundreds of people lost power Thursday in a several-block area just north of the Indiana State House. Since then, crews have been trying to figure out the cause of the explosions. The IMPD bomb squad and crime scene technicians were called in Saturday morning after the discovery was made.
The crews, while they were underground in a manhole, they did find some substance that they're not familiar with.
That said, IPL does not believe the substance was placed in a manhole intentionally. Still, the Department of Homeland Security is testing the substance to find out what exactly it is. A few timely defensive stops at the end of regulation and a few key baskets in overtime powered the Notre Dame Fighting Irish past the Butler Bulldogs in the NCAA tournament last night. Notre Dame now moves on to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 12 years. Meanwhile, Butler heads back home, their season now over. Rich Nye joins us from Pittsburgh with a look at what lies ahead for both programs.
Butler started the season with low expectations and an interim head coach. The Bulldogs finished the season with an NCAA tournament overtime loss to Notre Dame that sends the Irish on to the Sweet 16.
Let's go, let's go! We gotta fight these dudes now. Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family.
The first ever NCAA tournament matchup between Butler and Notre Dame delivered a late night overtime thriller. Roosevelt Jones scored 23 points for the Bulldogs on a sprained knee. But the Fighting Irish dialed long distance in overtime for a 67-64 victory that hangs up the phone on Butler's remarkable season.
We're always a team that's going to be undervalued, team that will be looked down upon. People will project us to be something that we don't think we'll be, something we'll be more. So I know what we did this year was tremendous compared to last year, coming back with all the circumstances that we had to deal with.
Former walk-on Alex Barlow fouled out of his last game. He played in 3 conferences for 3 head coaches.
When this day came, I knew I was going to be disappointed, hurt that it was over, but no way am I sad. The experiences that I've had for these past 4 years, the friendships I've made, the people I've been around, got to play for, play with. It's been incredible.
Butler hired Chris Holtman permanently as head coach in January. His team won 23 games and finished 3rd in the Big East.
There wasn't much expected of this group, and I think they carried that with them throughout the year, and it was a great motivating factor, and just the grit that they showed.
Mike Bray celebrates the Sweet 16 for the first time in 12 years, coaching the Irish after learning his mother died Saturday morning.
She had a great run, man. She had a great run. 84, an amazing woman, really kind of, she was the one who kind of got me going, competitive, an Olympian, a world record holder.
Butler says goodbye to 3 seniors, and Notre Dame says hello to Cleveland with a game on Thursday against either Wichita State or Kansas. In Pittsburgh, I'm Rich Nye, Channel 13 Eyewitness Sports.
All right, March Madness, of course, brings along our March Madness in the weather department.
You got it. We have big-time temperature swings as well as an active wet pattern in store. Here's a look at your radar satellite. Notice we have a lot of rain to our deep south, a wintry mix to the northwest. I'll let you know what will be moving in and what kind of temperature swings we can see coming up on sunrise.
Plus, the 500 Festival Mini Marathon is fast approaching, so do you need some added motivation to run? We have some for you. We'll show you what each runner will get after crossing the finish line. Welcome back. Sun is up. Perfect day for running, right? You can see we've made a costume change here. The 500 Festival Mini Marathon sneaking up on us, and many of us know that you're training for that big race. I am not, but you may not have seen yet this official t-shirt. It's the new t-shirt. We've just got it here with us today, along with Sabrina List from the 500 Festival, to share a little bit about it, because this is a really exciting reveal that you do every year.
Yeah, it's one of our most coveted pieces of swag from the event is the shirt, and we're really excited. ASICS is our official apparel sponsor for the mini marathon this year. We're in pretty good company along with the New York Marathon and LA Marathon, and we're excited to offer this up to all of the mini marathon participants.
Very cool. If you want to like hold it right in front of your face and then kind of tell us, there's a really cool design on it this year too.
Yeah, so we actually asked a lot of our participants what their favorite aspects of the mini were, and number one is downtown Indianapolis, so we paid great attention to the skyline of Indy, and if you look closely you'll actually see the flag flying atop the One America building. Wanted it to be pretty accurate. Very cool. The other really interesting aspect is at the bottom we wanted to make sure that we paid homage to the Indy 500, so we've got the wing and wheel there representing our racing heritage.
That is so cool. I know you guys put a lot of time into this design, and I know a lot of runners really look forward to seeing it. So there it is, folks. If you're running this year, this is something that you get when you cross the finish line, right?
Actually, you get it when you pick up your bib for the race.
Ah, nice. Okay, so you can run in it if you want.
Yeah, we have a lot of runners that do that.
This is what you get when you finish, right?
Yes, this is what you get when you cross the finish line. This is our most coveted mini marathon medal. It's about 1/4 pound, so it's really heavy. And also, we wanted to really highlight the time that you spend on the track during the mini, so we have the yard of bricks there, we have the flags in the background, and we wanted to add a little bit of color this year, so that's a fun addition to it.
Very, very cool. And most importantly, you can still sign up. We still have, what, like 6 weeks or something, so you can still sign up to run if you want.
You can still sign up. There's plenty of time to train. It's still very attainable, so we recommend that you sign up early. Those spots are filling up pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can get a special $10 off if you put WTHR code in there. We've been promoting that. Hopefully everyone won't get out there. This is a look at, I think, last year's race. You guys looks like had a little bit of rain, but this year, hopefully perfect weather. We've had some good weather so far to train, at least the last few days.
Yeah, we've had some really great weather to train. We have a series of training runs called the Miler Series that have gone really well. It's perfect weather, perfect opportunity. Get out there and start training.
Any last minute tips for the runners?
Take it slow and steady. Don't bite off more than you can chew, and just little by little, keep chipping away at that distance.
Yeah, now you've seen it, now you got to get your own, so that means you've got to register and run. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for coming in. We appreciate it very much. Kelly?
Yes, I would agree. If you've never done it before, it really is a lot of fun. So many great bands and entertainment along the route, so good times there. And really, we have some great running weather over the course of the next several days if you like cooler weather, but we also are watching out for some rainy weather. We do have a system to the deep south that will be pushing off to the east. It's been kicking in some cloud coverage, but what we're watching out for is the system to the northwest. It will be our next weather maker as we head into tomorrow. In the meantime, let's take in this beautiful Sunday morning in Sharpsville. A lot of blue sky there, and in Greene County, Bloomfield, a lot of blue sky there as well. We'll still see some cirrus clouds throughout the day today. Temperature at 37 degrees at the Indianapolis airport. Winds out of the east at 8 miles per hour. Now wind chill value at 31. You need to grab the winter coat right now as temperatures are in the low 30s in Muncie, 36 in Greensburg, 36 degrees in Crawfordsville, and 36 in Greencastle right now. Now we are tracking a cooler day today in comparison with yesterday. We did get up to 63 yesterday, but it will be dry today. Tracking some big temperature swings this week, as well as an active weather pattern for rain and possibly even some snow, and even some flurries will be possible on Friday. Future track 13 will keep us rather cool today as the winds turn out of the east-northeast from about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures climb into the upper 40s and low 50s across central Indiana. So here's a look at your forecast today. We'll see mostly cloudy skies at times, and then peaks of sunshine here and there, and a high near 50 degrees this afternoon. Partly cloudy tonight, a chilly overnight as temperatures fall several degrees below average with a low of 28 degrees. Now here's our next disturbance that will move in on Monday morning. You'll want to check with Chuck and Nicole tomorrow morning. As this disturbance moves in, we'll likely see some snow accumulating in Chicago. So if you're heading up I-65 tomorrow morning, keep that in mind. This will start to drift farther south on Monday afternoon, and as it arrives, it could be some wet snowflakes mixed with some rain along the Lafayette-Kokomo-Marion line. Not expecting any accumulation, but it could be slick. To the south of that area, we'll likely see just rain, as it will be warm enough for just rain. And then this will move on out of here by Monday evening. As we head into Monday afternoon, it will be a chilly day, cloudy skies. Temperatures only climb to 42 degrees, running more than 10 degrees below average. Now here's a look at Tuesday. Here comes some better chances of rain. We have a warm front that will lift through that will bring us a chance of rain Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night, and then into early Wednesday morning. We still have a chance of some showers. I do think the bulk of Wednesday will be dry, with more storms moving in by Wednesday night. Here's a look at your SkyTrack 13 forecast. High of 50 degrees this afternoon, 42 for Monday afternoon with a chance of some rain. Better chances of rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday will be balmy at 61 degrees. It will be breezy, and then we're tracking a chance of flurries on Friday.
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
ESPN surprised everybody on Friday night when they said Paul George could return to the lineup on Saturday. Well, Saturday came and went. PG not in the lineup. Let me take you to Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Indiana trying to end a 4-game losing streak, hosting Brooklyn. Paul George, yeah, he shot around before the game, did not shoot around during the game. George Hill, yeah, after the big Roy Hibbert block, G. Hill had himself a night. The dime right here to C.J. Miles. C.J., 4 3-pointers on the night. This all coming, 3 of those coming in the third quarter. Indiana Pacers down, not anymore. Paul George, good in the suit. Looking good when he'll be suited up on the court. More on that hopefully later this weekend. Back to Roy Hibbert. Had himself a night as well. 16 and 6. To the fourth quarter we go. Nets take it to a whole nother level. Joe Johnson, 14 for him on the night. Pacers drop their 5th straight, 123 to 111.
It's a tough loss right now. We just got to do a lot of thinking. Well, we needed this game, and we complicated things a little bit more than they were before the game. We just got to regroup and continue to try to play well and win games. We need games.
Watch this again. It's the end of an era this morning. Steve Nash is calling it quits after 19 seasons. The 2-time NBA MVP leaves 3rd all-time in NBA assists. And this morning I want to say congratulations to the boys basketball team at Park Tudor and Guerin Catholic. Both won their semi-states yesterday. They will play for a state title next weekend. A long winter is almost over for the IndyCar Series. The season begins next weekend on the streets of St. Pete. 2015 features a lot of changes. We have new aero kits to look forward to and a few new faces in new places. Earlier yesterday, I spoke with Ganassi drivers Charlie Kimball and Sage Karam about their return to the track.
Yeah, we can't wait for the first race. Obviously, the introduction of the new aero kits this year. I think the Team Chevrolet aero kit, not only does it look good, but it seems to be pretty quick on the track. We were fairly quick at the open test at Barber Motorsports Park earlier this week, and can't wait to get down to St. Pete, the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, and race number 1.
And Sage Kimball, your emotions coming into this season. I mean, you're kind of one of the younger guys in the stable. What are you looking forward to when you take the streets of St. Pete?
Well, really, it's my second IndyCar start in my life, so it's just going to be a learning experience for me. Take it day by day, and coming off a crash recently, so got to get my confidence back, get back in the groove.
Hamlin right there to 38.
To NASCAR, the 5th race of the season for the Sprint Cup Series in Fontana this weekend. Kurt Busch, he returned to the track last week in Arizona. He's had no problem finding speed. He takes the pole for this afternoon's race. He will have his hands full. His teammate Kevin Harvick is starting second. Harvick also riding a 2-race win streak. Still to come, a busy first weekend for the NC2A tournament. Coming up tonight on the Sports Jam, Bob Kravitz will join me. We will discuss IU, Purdue, Butler, and Notre Dame. Take a look ahead to the Sweet 16 as well. Hope to see you later tonight.
Jason, thank you. Well, it's going to be another pretty day here in central Indiana. You might want to get out and enjoy it because the next few days we could see some big changes. Kelly Green will tell you more about that coming up in her final weather forecast.
And some IPS schools will be open over spring break. I'm Mary Mills. I'll tell you who the district's trying to reach and why.
Welcome back. IPS is heading into their spring break, which means relaxation and fun for many students. But for others struggling with hunger, a break from school means finding another source of food. Sunrise reporter Mary Mills joins us live from the Center for Inquiry on North New Jersey to tell us why those families in need won't have to worry this spring break. Mary, good morning.
Good morning, Naomi. And spring break for IPS students actually starts Tuesday this week, not Monday. Monday is a snow makeup day. But this year, the district is trying to get as many students as possible to spend at least a portion of their spring break at school, not in the classroom, but in the lunchroom. 21 schools, including this one, will open over spring break, with 2 schools also offering breakfast. Now, IPS officials say that roughly 80% of their 30,000 students qualify for free meals based on their family's income. And the district wants to make sure that everyone has the chance to have a hot and balanced meal. They say for many students that is the best meal they get all day. Now again, they don't have to do anything. They simply have to show up to qualify for one of those meals. The schools will be offering those meals at schools across the district, and lunch will be served from 11:30 until 12:30 each day through April 3rd. We do have a list of all the schools and the times, and to see that list, you can go to WTHR.com and click on Hot Topics, and again, that starts on Tuesday. We're live downtown. Mary Mills, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, Mary, thank you so much. A lot of folks will be relying on that in the week ahead. Thank you. Well, keeping the game of football as safe as can be, that's the focus of a training session going on today at St. Vincent's at Clay Terrace. 26 trainers from across the country are getting instruction in USA Football's Heads Up program that involves concussion, recognition and response, heat and hydration protocols, equipment fitting instruction, sudden cardiac arrest protocols, and heads up tackling and blocking techniques. Now, once they've been trained, these 26 coaches will teach those techniques to others across the country during the spring and summer, which is already upon us. Spring, it's finally here, and it's feeling like it this weekend, yesterday especially, but yeah, we could see some more snow.
Well, there is a chance, yes, and it's going to be dry today, so that's the good news. Not as warm as yesterday. Temperatures will top out near 50 degrees this afternoon. Yesterday we got up to 63. We'll still see those temperature swings this week, but we'll also see several chances of rain that could also be mixed with some snow, especially along a Lafayette to Marion line tomorrow. That will be a chance of seeing some light snow, no accumulation expected, and then rain will be possible on Tuesday with good chances of rain Wednesday and Thursday morning.
All right, well, today should be a nice day if you can get out there and enjoy it. The first weekend of spring now in the books. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a good one.